Hello everyone, it's Mark here again from Property Tax Advice. As you hopefully will have seen, we're doing a series of Ask the Accountant. You can ask the accountant a question and we'll try to answer you. This one's quite a longish answer, so hence I'm doing a video for it. It's a question I've received on direct messenger, which is from a chap called Dave. He didn't tell me his wife's name, so I know it's disrespectful, but I'm just going to have to refer to her as the wife. And he's asked a question. He's a higher rate taxpayer. His wife is working part-time and has very low income, and therefore he just wants to transfer 99% of all the income from his rental property, which is in his own name, to his wife. And he keeps reading on social media that you can use a deed of trust. So he's asked the question, is this accurate? Sorry, Dave, the answer is no. You're right. I do see this come up on social media all the time. People keep trotting out, use a deed of trust, use a deed of trust. Unfortunately, please don't take your advice from social media. You're doing the right thing. Ask an accountant. So, why isn't that right? If property is in Dave's own personal name and he wants to transfer the income to his wife, a large proportion of the income to his wife, it will be in breach of the Trust Act. If you want information on that, you can look up, use the Google reference HMRC HS270, and then I've just copied a section of that out, and it's now going to appear in this video. And as you can see, what this says is that if there is a settlement of assets between the husband and wife, for example, which is only of income, it will be caught by the settlement legislation of the Trust Act. So just transferring income cannot work for you. I'm sorry. That's the simple answer to Dave's question, but let's try to be a bit more helpful than that, shall we? Let's say, what can you do? Well, what you can do, of course, is you're married. Do you want to give a slice of your property to your wife? It will mean having to transfer over to either joint tenants, if you're going to go 50-50, or tenants in common. But now stamp duty is going to appear. So to explain this, I've just typed up a very short few words. It's not meant to be too technical. It's just to give you some guidance. And I've used imaginary numbers, Dave, because you didn't give me your figures. So I've just imagined your property's worth £200,000 and you've got a mortgage of £120,000. It's great. Now, between husband and wife, you can give an asset. It's not a problem at all. You can just give an asset. So you can give your wife, let's say, half. Great. You've given her £100,000 worth of asset. That's half the property. Unfortunately, the issue becomes the mortgage. Now, the situation is with a mortgage is that I know that your name's on the mortgage document and you're not changing that. I presume you might not change that. We'll talk about the mortgage company in a moment, by the way. But let's imagine we're not going to change that. But your wife has half the property. So if the mortgage was called on default, you've lost the property now, it's been repossessed, your wife loses half of the property. She's got half, she loses it. Therefore, you've in effect given away half of your risk. Your risk was £120,000 of mortgage. You're giving away half of it because the security on the property, which is now £60,000. By giving away £60,000, you're now going to exceed a limit that's been set, HMRC or government, same thing, I suppose, of £40,000. If the mortgage element that you have given away is or exceeds £40,000, stamp duty is payable. Okay, so we can transfer and we might end up with a stamp duty liability. Let's imagine that Dave says, well, I don't want to have any tax liability. Well, that's fine. We might have to transfer it in tenants in common where you have an unequal proportion. Then your accountant, if you haven't got one, come to us. We will work out what proportion is safe for you to transfer and keep within the SDLT boundaries. Okay, I'll keep talking about SDLT. Dave was from England, he did tell me that. So that's one option. There is another option though, Dave. we now need to think about, well, if you are joint tenants and you have taken it on the chin that you're going to pay the stamp duty on that stamp on that risk that you've eliminated from your life, good, you're now joint tenants. Now we've got a different scenario. As a husband and wife owning a property 50-50. And that's where deed of trust comes in. So if you do the deed of trust now, where you say, we jointly own this property, we want to allocate more of the income to the wife than to the husband in whatever proportions. And you fill in the Form 17 and deliver it to HMRC at the right timetable, then it does have effect from the date that you made that agreement. Okay, so yes, we can transfer, for example, 99% of all your income over to your wife. But we have to go through a few other steps first. Deed of trust is not just the simple answer that everyone says it is. A couple of other factors I just want to bring in. One is that if you're going to start messing around with who gets the income, please remember that you have borrowed £120,000 using my example numbers from a mortgage company. They've got every right to know what you're going to do. And to do things without telling them, I think is just taking a huge risk. Please do not risk defaulting, getting a black mark at the lenders. Talk to your mortgage company. Of course, if you're going to make your wife a joint owner of the property, they may well indeed have something to say about that as well. Please engage with your broker, engage with your mortgage company. Okay. And I think that's all I really need to say on this. There's obviously a lot of technical detail that we need to go into. And we will help you with that if your own accountant can't do so. Remember, these videos are not professional advice. I don't want anyone taking action or declining to take action because of something we said in the video. These are general commentaries only, and you need to take professional advice that is specific and personal to you. Hopefully that's helped, Dave. Our contact details are on now the sheet at the last few frames of this video. And if we can be of any help on a professional level, please come back to me and engage. Thanks very much. Bye, everyone.